The Dallas Mavericks are just one day away from the Western Conference Finals in that fabled third-round matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the media is already counting us out. Now, that's nothing new here. As Mavericks fans, we know they don't got no love for us. They got no love for Dallas, and we can't tell them. We got to show them on the hardwood. However, in this video, I'm going to also break down some positives in the media, how there are some people that actually vouch for the Mavericks and do believe in us, as well as some pundits who make it very clear that they just do not watch the Mavericks. So in this video, we're going to break down all those quotes, and I'm also going to give you my own personal feelings on this matchup, my thoughts, how well do we actually stack up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and what's changed over the last few weeks, as I honestly thought they'd be the tougher team in the matchup. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And I've seen all you guys in the comments section calling me Gnarls Barkley, Charles Barkley, Tim Hardaway Sr. I just want you guys to know that is not my name. My name is Marcel Martin, and this is Mavericks Digest. But like I said in the intro, we're going to talk about the media and just how they've really been just portraying the Dallas Mavericks, saying that Anthony Edwards is the second coming of Michael Jordan, and how Luka hasn't done anything yet. And there's a lot of talk in the media. But like I said, it's nothing new. We know this already. As I mentioned the other day, when Derrick Lively made the second All-NBA rookie team, it's crazy, right? Even Derrick Lively realized that they ain't got no love for the Mavericks. But we do have some love from certain individuals in the media who actually know basketball, and the one that we always can rely on is Tim Legler, Dallas Maverick himself, and he had this to say. Yesterday, he was on Get Up ESPN, and he tweeted this, saying, "Sitting here trying to decipher this Dallas Mavericks Timberwolves series. This morning on Get Up ESPN, I was asked who should be the favorite to win it all, and I said the Wolves, because they have earned the rights to be viewed that way. But I wasn't asked who I believe wins the Western Conference Series, and my answer to that is Dallas. Now, I was at work, we got the big screen TV in front of the office, and we watched ESPN all day, so when Tim Legler came on and said the Timberwolves, I was kind of shocked. No one on that panel had the Dallas Mavericks. I think 3 of them had the Timberwolves, 1 had the Boston Celtics. I was very shocked, but I knew better. Tim Legler always has our back. As I said before, he's a Mavericks legend, and he had to, explain himself, and I understand that too. Let's not kid ourselves. The Timberwolves are a very good team. Anthony Edwards is a monster on offense as well as defense. You got Karl Anthony Towns, who can space the floor. As he said himself, he's the greatest shooting big man in the league. Sure, we'll let you pretend to have that title. They also have the Defensive Player of the Year in Rudy Gobert, 4-time winner of that award, who is a big paint presence, who will make it very tough for Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford down low. They do have a pretty good supporting cast as well, so we got to give them their respect. This is going to be a battle, not a war for the finals. They're not going to make it easy on us, so there should be no reason why we should take them lightly. But Tim Legler, always showing love, knowing that it's still going to be Dallas. It's Dallas yesterday, Dallas today, and Dallas tomorrow. Appreciate it, Tim Legs, because when you got people on Inside the NBA, you got Ernie Johnson picking the Minnesota Timberwolves. Even, Shaq obviously doesn't trust Dallas, and then, Charles Barkley in his guarantee saying that Minnesota's going to make it. The only person that was kind of wishy-washy was Kenny Smith, who was like, I don't really know. I could go either way, and I understand that too. As Mavericks fans myself, yes, I'm picking the Mavericks. It's Mavs in 3 all day, every day. But I'm not going to kid myself. The Timberwolves are a good team. They just beat the reigning champions. I think as Mavericks fans, we know that going into the third round wasn't going to be easy regardless. We're either going to see the defending champions or a team who beat the defending champions. We got our works cut out for us. I mean, we beat the Clippers, a team who's really just had our number over the last few years. We just beat the number 1 seed in Thunder in 6 games. Anything can happen. This team is battle-tested. We're proving it time and time again. And even though we are never the favorites, that never stops us, that never deters us, because what we do, we fight, and we never give up. We got to believe in ourselves. And what Luka said, if you don't believe, you really shouldn't be here. But another thing that we want to look at right here is my man Nick Wright saying, I have the Mavs in 6. They're the most dangerous team left in the playoffs. Nick Wright on why he's taking Dallas over Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. Now, Nick Wright knows a thing or two about basketball, but also Tim Legler also mentioned the other day how the Dallas Mavericks defense is very, very lethal, and we've seen the numbers. We know where we rank amongst the league on our defense. Our defense is honestly one of the best defenses amongst the league. The Timberwolves have a pretty good offense and a really good defense as well, but I do believe our defense just holds up a little bit better, of course, down low. Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns are 2 huge big men. And, of course, we got Daniel Gafford, who is pretty big himself, but we saw him struggle against Zubac in the first round. We got Derrick Lively. He's a little bit smaller, but he can he can hang down low. He can handle himself in the paint amongst the weeds, but we can't take that lightly. They're going to play inside, and then Karl Anthony Towns being able to pull either Derrick Lively or Daniel Gafford to the perimeter because he can shoot those threes. The way they space the floor and the way that we don't have Maxi Kleber right now may pose a problem, but I still believe in Luka. I still believe in Kai. I still believe in PJ, Derrick Jones Jr., and the whole team. Even Tim Hardaway. I believe in everybody that we can get it done, whether it be in 6 or 7 games, or if it's the Mavs in 3, like I always say, Mavs in 3. We are a dangerous team. We have the right personnel. We have all the right tools. We're all the right people. Every time we had a loss, we came back and we won 2. Happened in the first round, happened in the second round, and we may have to do it in the third round. Even though we know we're probably going to win or lose the first game, just per usual, just Mavericks fashion. But we can always make those adjustments after a loss, and we always come back better. And I think that's what aids in us just being so dangerous. And another thing, right here. Of those pundits that make it so obvious that they do not watch the Dallas Mavericks. And this could have been a brain fart. I'm going to give Shannon Sharp the benefit of the doubt because I do like his commentary. But Shannon, an outspoken Mavs critic, just said JaVale McGee is on the Mavs. Now, I watched the tape, I watched the little footage, and they were talking about how the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, just 2 paint presence, and they have Naz Reid come off the bench to just keep that big man presence on the floor. And then he's mentioned, well, maybe the Mavericks need to go Daniel Gafford, Derrick Lively, and give JaVale McGee some minutes. Now Shannon Sharp. JaVale McGee doesn't play for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm pretty sure he's still on the Kings, maybe. I'm not sure if he's going to be back next year, but no, JaVale McGee is on the Kings, or wherever he may be. He's not a Dallas Maverick. But what he said is somewhat true because they're going to play 2 bigs. And I know a lot of people, I saw in the comment section, I've even seen it online, people want to see Daniel Gafford and Derrick Lively on the floor together. I would feel more comfortable if we had Maxey on the bench because we can't play Daniel Gafford and Derrick Lively 2 heavy minutes on the floor together. That's the reason why they split up about 20, 24 minutes apiece because we want to have at least one of them on the floor at all times unless we space the floor out and go small. And like I said, without Maxi Kleber, we don't really have that option. Maybe we go Dwight Powell. I'm not saying it's a bad option. We haven't seen Dwight Powell all playoffs, but just like Jaden Hardy, who really didn't get any run, and then the last half of the series against the Thunder, he came in and had a really big presence. He really contributed to that win. So maybe we'll see that from Dwight Powell. I mean, I think Coach Kidd is a very smart coach, a very good coach. He's been proving it in this playoffs, been proving it all season. So maybe he'll switch it up. Maybe he's got something cooking in the lab that he can actually throw out against the Minnesota Timberwolves to really throw them off their game. But that will be an issue that I think that we may see in game 1 of just their size. They have size and length, and they've got guys off the bench that can just play really gritty defense. And another thing that we're going to look at right here. The last time we played the Minnesota Timberwolves, by the way, we only beat them once this season, and it was all before the trade deadline. And this was our lineup the last time we saw them. We had Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, Tim Hardaway Jr., Rashawn Holmes, and Grant Williams as our starting 5. 2 of those players aren't even here. Josh Green is a bench player for us. Jaden Hardy hardly sees minutes, and Tim Hardaway is missing in action. But this was our starting lineup. And off the bench, we had Seth Curry, Max, Brandon Williams, AJ Lawson, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, Markieff Morris, who didn't play. So we are a completely different team now. Again, they haven't seen us post trade deadline, same as the Clippers. They never saw us with Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. And I do believe, because a lot of people are saying it, I do believe that the Timberwolves built their team and maybe just structured their offense and defense to beat the Denver Nuggets, and rightfully so. They're the defending champions. But we're not the Denver Nuggets. We're a completely different team. We're a different team than we were in January to now. The Dallas Mavericks have completely transformed their identity, and they're a team that can either win on the inside, the outside, team ball. And I'm sure you've all seen it, how Luka's averages right now are his worst in his career for a playoff run. And meanwhile, we're in the Western Conference Finals. That right there shows you we're a completely different, more lethal team because Luka doesn't have to put up 35, 10, and 11 for us to make it to the Western Conference Finals. I want to say he's putting up like 25, 10, and 9, which I think only a few other players have done. Someone fact-check me on that. I'm horrible with numbers. But the way that Luka's playing right now alongside Kyrie Irving and with everybody complimenting them, playing their role, we are a team that is just a force to be reckoned with. We may just mess around and just make it to the finals. It is possible. But we do got to make it past the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're not going to make it easy, like I've said before. And in my personal opinion, they do have depth. They've got McLaughlin off the bench. They've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the cousin to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who does get buckets. Naz Reid, which I think will be a big issue off the bench. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns can space the floor. Rudy Gobert is a bench presence. A paint presence. And you got Anthony Edwards, who's their all-star alongside with Mike Conley. But Jaden McDaniels, he might be their version of Derrick Jones Jr. So we may match up very well, just depending on who's on who. If Kyrie's got the match with Mike Conley, I'm sure that's going to be easy pickings. He's going to be able to get his buckets whenever he wants. No disrespect to Mike Conley. I do like Mike Conley. I think he's a great player, but Kyrie is just better than him. And if If Anthony Edwards wants to guard Luka, then so be it. We'll let Luka cook. I haven't seen a player in the league yet lock down Luka. The only person that can really affect Luka's play is Luka. But the bigs, that's where I kind of have a little bit of a question mark on, because with, like I said, Rudy Gobert, Karl Towns, and Naz Reid, they've got three bigs that they can just rotate in and out, where just kind of like us with Daniel Gafford, Derrick Lively, they always got someone on the floor. And even if they want to go 5 out, you still got Cat because he can shoot the three. It's going to be a very interesting series. I still believe that the Mavericks can win it in either 6 or 7. And again, we're probably going to lose the first game per usual. It's just what we do, and we'll come back and we'll make adjustments in game 2. I do believe that we will be able to play a little bit more physical. The Timberwolves have been able to play physical all playoffs so far. We were only really allowed to play physical in the first round against the Clippers. We had to kind of scale that back against the Thunder. But I do believe there's going to be a very chippy, very, very hard-fought series where the Mavericks do make it out. That's my prediction. Mavs in 7. I think Mavs in 7. I'm fairly confident. But you guys let me know down in the comment section down below, how do you think the Mavericks match up against the Minnesota Timberwolves? We're done with the Thunder. How do you think that they match up with the Timberwolves? Let me know down below. But thank you for making this far into the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a triple jersey giveaway, where if you are a channel member of any tier, you're automatically entered into a giveaway where you can win 1 jersey out of the 3 that we're giving away. But until tomorrow where we go live, y'all take care. Peace.